is the best pencil to use for the sketching under your watercolor painting? Does your pencil show up too much, too little, make smudgy marks, or even damage the paper? These are all possibilities. In fact, there's plenty of options. So let's review them all and find the best pencil for sketching under watercolor painting for you. Because there's not just one best recommendation for everyone, but there is the best fit for you. When it comes to choosing a pencil to do the sketching part before you commit to your watercolor painting, I think our options fall into three main categories. The first of that is graphite. That's probably the most obvious choice, the first thing you think of when you think about having to do a little bit of a sketch. And for good reason. Graphite is widely available. It's a thing we're very comfortable with. We used it at school. We know all about it. I have to put in a disclaimer at this point. Graphite is my absolutely least favorite drawing tool, but please remember that's just my quirk, and just because I don't like it doesn't mean that you shouldn't use it. If you like it, go ahead. By all means, it's the typical choice and what a lot of people use. Having said that, graphite comes in so many different forms. You can get compressed graphite, you can get powdered graphite, but the ones we're most familiar with is obviously the pencils. But even those are available in a wide range. I've got a set here. It's very old now, but you've probably seen many sets like this. And they range from a marking with an H to a marking with a B. The B is for blackness and the H is for hardness. So the higher the H number, the harder the pencil is going to be, and that'll make a light mark. And the higher the B number is, the darker, bolder, blacker the mark it's going to make will be, with your HB being the one that is right in the middle. Now, one of the things we often think about with watercolor painting is that we don't want the pencil to show up too much. So in that case, you'd probably be thinking, well, I want the lightest one possible, and I can see from the box that the 2H is going to be my best bet. So you can make your marks, and it makes a lovely fine line. It's quite easy to use, it's very hard, so it draws rather beautifully, sharpens very well, and of course you can erase it. So we could erase it. Let me just erase the bottom half. So I have erased the bottom half there, but let's say we were doing our watercolor painting and we were painting over that. Lo and behold, even the marks that we have erased start to appear. I don't know if you can see it yet, but you'll see the pigment start to settle into those lines there. I erased the bottom half of the lines, but once I painted over them, the lines reappeared. And that's because I used that really hard pencil, because the hard pencil is actually damaging the grooves of the paper. It's lovely, soft, cushiony, cottony watercolor paper that's going to receive the paint so well. But what happens with a very hard pencil is that we've damaged part of the paper, created like a slice into it, and the pigments from the watercolor collect in those little grooves. And so even if you've erased your pencil marks, they might reappear at some point. You can also see that, you know, watercolor is lovely and transparent, and you do end up with being able to see the pencil line straight through. You know, that's a question you'll have to figure out for yourself, whether you want the pencil to show or not. And just bear in mind that the harder pencil, even though it is lighter, is not necessarily going to end up being invisible after you've done some erasing. So if a harder pencil isn't the answer, what about trying a softer one? Because the softer ones, the black one, the reason it's bold and dark is because it's a much softer lead. So as soon as you put it on the page, you can see you get a very lovely bold line. It's soft. It feels like nice and soft to draw with. It feels rather nice as you are doing the drawing. However, and this is one of the reasons I don't like graphite, is look how smudgy it is. Now, because watercolor is transparent, it means that when you are doing your drawing, it's very easy to end up with a little bit too much of the graphite on there, and then before you know it, you've popped in your color and it's no longer vibrant and lovely. It could end up being affected by that smudgy grey. And one of the reasons I love watercolour is for its fresh, vibrant, transparent, beautiful colour, luminous colour. And any of this kind of smudgy greying is going to detract from that an awful lot. So if you do like drawing with graphite pencil, then the one to go for is probably the HB. I think you might call that a number 2 pencil as well. But the HB is in the middle, so hopefully not too smudgy, not too hard as to damage the paper. Hopefully some happy medium right in the middle that will give you what you want. For me, none of these options were very satisfying. There are so many things I don't like about graphite that I definitely went searching for something else. And because one of the things I was considering was whether I could have the pencil marks disappear in my painting, the next obvious choice was a watercolor pencil. Since I wasn't enjoying graphite, and I did quite like the idea of my watercolor painting not having too much of the visible drawing, I decided to try a watercolor pencil, and that is obviously a lovely thing to draw with. I have to be honest, if you have watercolor pencils that you don't like, because I do, I bought a very cheap set. They were children's watercolor pencils. It was a whim purchase, you know, they were in a bargain bucket, and they were from quite a good brand, but because they were such poor quality, they really spoiled the idea of watercolor pencils for me. But I've recently bought myself some better quality watercolor pencils, and I have to say I'm loving them. So something like this is a lovely green Faber-Castell watercolor pencil, and something like this is rather lovely. So, you know, if you were wanting to come up with your little sketch, like maybe we want to draw one of my favorite things to draw, a cherry. And, you know, so when you're drawing, often what you're wanting to do when you're drawing is to put in a few little details, you know, to remind yourself. This isn't really the way I paint, but it's going to make my point, I hope. Now, because that's a water-soluble pencil, obviously what's going to happen is when I start painting, the watercolor paint is going to activate the pigments that we've put down in the pencil, and it's all going to dissolve into the painting. Well, that's rather lovely. Isn't that exactly what we were after? Well, let's see. So I can pop in my lovely cherry. Something like that. Let's say I wanted to give it a green stem and paint this little leaf. All well and good. However, a couple of things worth noticing about this, and they may or may not bother you. So first of all, I put the red down on my green drawing, and red and green are opposite each other on the color wheel. So the green is going to start changing the color of the red, dulling it down, making it a little bit duller and not its beautiful color. So the color of the watercolor pencil that you choose is going to influence your painting. So you have to choose a color that you're going to be happy for that to happen. Obviously, you could do the drawing with different colors. And actually, I've got another video that shows you how to start a watercolor painting 5 different ways. And this is one of the ways. So if you want to see me do a little bit more of that, I'll link that video up in the cards for you to watch next. The other thing that is worth mentioning is, remember I had those details on the little leaf. Well, as soon as I put the watercolor paint over the leaf, none of those details were evident anymore. You know, they all dissolved into the paint that I put down, so I can't see them anymore, which means you've got a one-time use of the sketch. So if all you need is just the outlines of your big shapes, this is probably fine. But if you were wanting to capture a few more details and work in layers, putting extra layers on the top and want to see your drawing through it, the watercolor pencil is not going to be a great option for this reason. So graphite personally gives me no joy to draw with whatsoever. Watercolor pencils, I love their creamy feel and I love the color. So for me, a better option is a colored pencil. So if you're enjoying the idea of drawing in color and like the idea of coordinating the color of your drawing with the color of your painting, then colored pencils might be a great option. One of the big drawbacks with colored pencils is that they are not erasable. You probably have a few colored pencils lying around, and they are lovely things to draw with. However, when we put down our marks, it feels creamy and lovely to draw with. You know, it glides across the paper so beautifully, and I love the way it draws on textured paper like this cold pressed paper particularly. But one of the big drawbacks is it's not erasable. You can try and you can lighten some of it most of the time, but it's never going to disappear completely. So it might be very difficult to use colored pencils and just have them not be visible in your painting. This is a separate question, and I've got a separate video all about that, whether you should be worrying about visible lines in your watercolor painting. So I'll link that one in the cards too. But there is a solution. You can still use colored pencils and have them erasable if you do your shopping a little bit more carefully, because there are a couple of brands that offer erasable colored pencils. So my colored pencils are Prismacolor, and Prismacolor do offer a range of erasable colored pencils. They call that brand Color Erase. I collected a few over the years. You can get a small set, you know, with a nice range of colors, and these you can definitely erase. Isn't that magic? So it's a colored pencil. It behaves like a colored pencil, but you can erase it. Magic. Comes in all sorts of colors. So if you prefer the colors of the graphite, if you like that sort of grayish color, you can get a black one. I had a dark brown one. You can go for a very pale one if you wanted it to really disappear and only be visible to you while you were painting. You know, you've got lots of colors to choose from. They do need regular sharpening. So there is another brand, Pilot, do a range of erasable colored pencils in a clutch pencil, a mechanical pencil. And you guessed it, I've been building a collection of those too. These are my three favorites. I find the pink very useful because it's very pale. So it's one that I draw with quite often. And again, you can see this in action a little bit more in that video I was talking about before, the 5 ways to start a watercolor painting. So these are standard mechanical pencils. So you just click the top to sharpen. It never needs sharpening. It's always the same. And even though it'll give you a lovely fine mark, because it's that you know, fine lead. It's not like the middle of a wooden pencil. So it's always going to give you a fine, sharpened looking mark, even though you never have to do any sharpening. You just buy the refills and fill it up again. You can definitely erase that one too. Even the dark ones. They all erase rather beautifully. Now, I keep talking about the erasing. We should mention that too. One of my favorite erasers is just a standard white eraser, but a lesson I've learned the hard way many times is do a little bit of common sense cleaning of the eraser before you use it, especially on your watercolor painting. You know, your watercolor paper is quite precious. We know it's quite pricey. And when you've done your drawing and you want to erase little parts of it, try and be gentle. These erase well, but they're not necessarily very gentle. One of my favorite erasers is something called a kneaded eraser. And I would highly recommend adding one of these to your stash if you don't have them already. Instead of being in a firm block like this, it's kneaded gum. And it's terribly handy because if you've drawn your little whatever drawing you were wanting to paint, you can then lighten it without damaging the paper. All you do is press and release. And you can see it very effectively lightens the drawing, but leaves it there firmly enough for you to be able to see it to paint from. This one feels pretty much used up. You can see it's almost got a pinkish tinge to it because I've used it so much with this pencil where it's had to lift up this, you know, to lighten my drawing before I paint. And so I've got a new set, very inexpensive, totally worthwhile. So there you have it. There's so many options. Whether you're somebody like me who's got a particular gripe with one of the options, or whether you're looking for pencil that's visible or pencil that's invisible, there is definitely going to be something for you to choose. If you're worried about that question about whether visible pencils are okay in watercolor painting, I'm going to pop that video up on the screen too, as well as the one I was talking about that shows many of these techniques in action, and that one is called 5 Ways to Start a Watercolor Painting. Hope you enjoy them. Happy painting!